What's up, y'all? It is your girl, Sarah from Sarah Styles here, where data empowers true potential and I show you the power of your numbers. In this part 2 of this series, I am looking at data. I did an anonymous survey to Poshers to look at their statistics and be able to tell you guys in part 1 what closet size is best on Poshmark. Is a bigger closet actually better on Poshmark? And in part 2, today I'm going to be talking to you about activities on Poshmark and which activities are actually worth your time to help you make sales. So stay tuned. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining. Let's jump right into this. If you saw part 1, you saw closet size. I looked at the anonymous data. I did a survey on Poshmark. I put it out on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So people who are slightly more invested in Poshmark than, people cleaning out your closet because they're following, me as social media reseller. So keep that in mind as we look into it. But I did an anonymous survey and I got 146 people filling out the survey, and it filtered down to 141 after I took out some outliers and probably mistakes. Like someone said that they listed 10 days a week. Obviously you cannot do that. So I think that was just an error in entry. So I did a survey. We are looking at the facts. We are looking at the data. I'm going to show you graphs and charts to make recommendations for you guys on how to make those sales. So let's hop right into it. All right, strategies that work. Real quick, to just give you a little bit of background, like I said, we are looking at 141 participants. The closet size maximum was 6,448. The minimum was 11, so only 11 items in their closet. And then the median and average was right around 400. What types of population was I looking at? I want to really understand what we're looking at to be able to do this analysis. So full-time was only 21% of the people who filled out the survey. 46% were part-time, 11 to 29 hours, and then 32% was under 10 hours. I think that's really a good indicator of what I've heard from Poshmark, and then also what I'm seeing on social media, that most people are not full-time. So the data that we're looking at is going to be about 80% of the people are working part-time or side hustle. I am going to first look at the total population, and then we'll get into the top performers. What are top performers? People who are making the most money on Poshmark, what specifically are they doing? But I wanted to look at the things on Poshmark. If you are new to Poshmark, Poshmark is a social media app for reselling. So being social on there, they give you these, sharing your items so that they don't have a great search engine. So for you to get seen and for you to come in at the top, it's not based off of your search engine optimization so much as you share an item and it goes to the top. It's kind of amazing if you're new because all you have to do is share and there it goes. But then you're having to share your closet all day. So let's look at how that correlates to your sales. So we have your closet shares by closet. So how many times you share your closet, and then your sell-through rate. For those that are new to the channel or new to looking at data analytics, your sell-through is going to be how many you've sold out of how many that you have for that time period. So a really big closet it's kind of taking out of that factor how big your closet is. It's how well your items are selling. You want 100% sell-through rate. That means you have sold every single item that you've purchased. The bigger sell-through rate, the better. So you can see here, taking it back to, your high school math, and I apologize for that. Let me just quickly explain this, and then I'll tell you what it means and what information is useful to you. We did a correlation. How does your sell-through rate, how are items performing based off of how your closet is sharing, how often you're sharing your closet? The more you share your closet, do you have a higher sell-through rate? And you can see this trending line is trending up, which is saying, yes, the more you share your closet, self-share your closet, the higher your sell-through rate is. For the sake of this, this is just a quick analysis in Google Sheets and a small data sample. So the R-squared is only a 0.288. You want it as close to 1 to show really high correlation. So keep that in mind. I do still think that it's helpful. And then we'll look at another sample as well. I've looked at this in the past and I will put that down below, and you can definitely see the correlation is the highest in the self shares. And I'll show you in a minute. This is followers. This correlation is absolutely nothing, right? So while it's not one, it is the highest of all of the activities that you can do. And that's why I've included it at the top. So followers, is it important to have followers? You have your average sell-through rate over here on the left and your followers on the right. So if you have more followers, are you selling more items? You can see a downward trend. The more followers that you have, it's slightly downward, but the more followers that you have, it's all over the place, right? Your R squared is 0.009. That's terrible. Like that's not even anything, right? There's absolutely no correlation based off of this sample data that I have done. There's no correlation in followers and in your sell-through rate. You are not making more sales if you have more followers. I did this analysis about a year ago, and I'm going to tell you guys in a minute how this compares to what I did a year ago and what I think is going on. Definitely make sure to drop a note down below on things that you guys are noticing as well. And do make sure to hit that subscribe button if you like looking at data, you like looking at facts and not just anecdotal, hey, this is what works for me. I look at data, look at facts, charts, and tell you guys really make the recommendations on what to do. Community shares as well. So you can go into Poshmark and share other people's items as well. This is even worse than followers. There's absolutely no correlation between sharing other people's and your sell-through rate, how your items are selling. So these numbers have actually significantly gone down since the last time that I did it. The biggest correlation last time was self-shares, community shares, and followers. So doing a little bit of everything gave you the best correlation. It was close to almost 0.4, I believe, which still is not 1, but it is significantly higher. So a couple of things that I think is going on. Let me know what you guys think. The market has become extremely saturated. It was a pandemic. It still is, but 2020 was a pandemic. People losing their jobs, just cleaning out their closets. Poshmark, I don't have the number with me. I should have written it down. But their growth on the platform last year was ridiculous. They are getting so many new people, which means it's hard when there's a gazillion billion, I don't remember the number, but when there's a billion people on there, it's hard to interact. And it's not like a social media, like on Instagram what the algorithm is, or TikTok or something like that. It's not as sophisticated as those algorithms. So I think as more people get on it, those actions are actually making less, meaning less. Self shares is absolutely the top one up there. But based off of what I'm seeing, community shares follows, they're not doing a whole lot for you. It's not working like it used to work in the past. But let's look at the top performers. What are these top performers doing? People who are making, so top performers, for the sake of this video, I did anyone who makes over $2,500 a month. And I pulled this number in talking with people and really watching videos and stuff. Anything over $2,000, I think, is really a top performer on Poshmark specifically. Kind of puts them in like that top tier. So anything over $2,500 for the month off of my sample data, I consider it a top performer. So this kind of shifted what that population looks like, which would make sense. More full-time, 64% of the top performers are full-time. It's time consuming to be a reseller. It's time consuming to do all of these activities, sharing your closet, other things that you have to do, taking photos, listing, all of that. Part-time is 29%, and then a side hustle is just right around 6%. Closet shares for these performers, how is that trending? And you can see that R squared is closer to 0.82. Keep in mind, this is a small sample size. I'm fully aware of that. Absolutely look at your data and look at what's working for you. But I think this is really showing us on a grander scheme of things, how Poshmark is working and what you can test out for yourself. And I'll show you a couple other things at the end of this video to help you really look at your data and figure out what is working for you. So here you go, closet shares versus your sell-through rate. Our R squared is 0.82, which is significantly closer to 1, right? The more you share your closet, the more it's going, the more sales that you're going to be getting. I'm going to note too, part one of this, I looked at closet size, and that's really very surprising. It's not what you hear in the community often about how big your closet should be. So if you have not checked out part one, head on over to check out part one. That will help you get a full picture of what you should be doing on Poshmark. But the other thing I wanted to look at too, so definitely self-sharing. We saw self-sharing in the whole population, and then we're absolutely seeing self-sharing is working when you are a top earner, a top seller. But what are these top earners really doing? And I think it's important to note, you can see their closet size, their closet sizes. Every single top earner has at least 400 items in their closet. Again, in part one, I really go in depth into closet size. So I'm not going to talk too much about that right now. I will link that down below for part one. Make sure to give me a like. If you guys like this video, do make sure to give me a like and share it with your PFFs. So what are they doing? Their average sale price. Look at this. They are top earners because they are getting good inventory. $35 average sale price, $37 average sale price, right? These are ridiculously high average sale prices. Data that I've looked at in the past, most average sale prices on Poshmark are between like $12 and $17. So hello, this is almost double that. So the top earners are getting good inventory. Does that mean that you have to have good inventory to make money on Poshmark? The problem with having lower inventory to make a lot of money, and let's look at it. If you guys do not have this or the sales and trends dashboard, if you're not familiar, this is the sales and trends dashboard. This is how you can look at your data. It's a dashboard that I have for sale. You track and manage your own data, and then you can look at these different metrics for yourself. So take what I'm saying for the population and then kind of look at your data, try things based off recommendations, and then see how it's performing for you. The thing with lower price, average sale price items, you can absolutely make it work. You can make money selling lower average sale price items, but you need to sell more of them. I have videos on what I call the golden formula, as well as my class. I have 2 courses that goes over the golden formula. Everything that I do, I use the golden formula for, but essentially you have your sell-through rate and your average sale price, and that's telling you how much money that you're making. If you increase your average sale price, you have a lower sell-through rate, and vice versa, to make the money that you want. In order to have more sales and make more gross revenue, you need to have more active listings. Based off of my video, my part one, head on over and check that out. More active listings in Poshmark is maybe not the best thing, but this is what's going to tell you what your sell-through rate is, what your average sale price is, and what specifically you can be doing. How many items you need to sell, what your average sale price needs to be, what your active listings need to be for you to make this gross revenue. That number is your number. You log in, you change that to whatever you want. These numbers are based off of your specific data. Oh, that's not right. So you are noticing too, right? So as the closet size is getting bigger, you're getting a lower sell-through rate. And, I talked about that in part one. So head on over there again and watch that. But so based off of all of this, the top earners are sharing their closet more. They have great inventory. They have a decent sized closet, but not necessarily the biggest closet. Biggest is not always better. What are my recommendations? Let me make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. There we go. My recommendations based off of this data, based off of part one, is having good quality items. Bigger is not better. Having a ton of inventory is not necessarily better. Like I said, I go into that into part one, why not, and really look at the data there. But having a closet size between 400 and 600 seems to be a pretty good closet size. The bigger closet that you have, the harder it is to share, to get your items seen. Sharing your closet between 3 to 6 times a day. Share it more if you have more saturated items. If you have things that there's a lot of them on the market, you want to share more often. If you have, a Louis Vuitton bag, there's probably not a lot of those. A Louis Vuitton bag, there's probably not a ton of those. So maybe not sharing those items as often. Move your stale inventory. If you have 1,200 items and 800 of them have been sitting for a year, you are wasting your shares on those 800 items that have not sold instead of sharing your 200 new items. You're not able to share your new inventory, your good inventory as often if you have all of those stale items. If you want to keep the stale items, you can share your new inventory a bit more frequently so that it is being seen at the top as well. And then I really want to ask you to consider if Poshmark is best for you. Nothing against Poshmark. Take everything into consideration. Do what works for you. But really look at what is working for you, what is making money. If you have a really large closet, is Poshmark really the best place for you? And I am leaning towards it's not. I still have things on Poshmark, but I'm going to be decreasing my Poshmark closet. I've done an analysis. I will put it in the link down below as well on my Poshmark sales versus my eBay sales. eBay performs better for me. eBay, if you have a bigger store there, everything gets seen equally, depending on your SEO and what you have, but it's not sharing items like it is on Poshmark. So having a bigger store on eBay completely makes sense. So putting things on eBay first and letting them get seen there, keeping stale inventory on eBay, and then really maybe making Poshmark more of a curated closet between that 400 and 600 items so that they're getting seen and I'm making the most money that I can make on Poshmark. And then again, this is sample data. I always recommend looking at your data. I look at my Carousel sales and trends dashboard. There is a simulator in here, like I said, looking at what specifically I need to do based off of the inventory that I have, trying things on Poshmark, trying things on eBay or other various sites, and then looking at your specific numbers. If you guys do like this video and this series, do make sure to hit that subscribe button and notifications so you get notified of other videos that I have as well. Any other questions that you have or things that you'd like me to look at? I love doing these types of videos and looking at the data and sharing with you guys based off of data, based off of numbers and facts. What is working, what is worth your time. Make sure to hit that like button and save this video for future reference, as well as share it with all of your PFFs. Greatly appreciated. If you share it on social media, do make sure to tag me so that I can share with my followers as well and help you guys get some engagement. So I hope you have a great day.